While Jackson kicks some boxes in his garage out of the way, like a Christmas tree, maybe. Um, Welcome to the greatest, most amazing podcast in the universe, probably. And I'm your host, Fraser Laveay. We're with Jackson Greaves, Biscuits and Greavy. We're talking the best things to do in Costa Rica, 10 must do things. We'll add places to go, an itinerary, places to see in San Jose, Manuel Antonio, La Fortuna, Tamarindo. I can't speak Spanish very well, so apologize for how I pronounce those.
Pura vida.
Yes, and before we get to Costa Rica and the best things to do, I just want to address a couple things, highs and lows. Right, it's our fourth podcast now, highs and lows. Uh, we'll try not to friend three countries this time, Jackson. So I mean, we've got some apologies maybe at some point for Thailand, Malaysia, and India. Thankfully, we're too small to get canceled, so that's a good thing. Uh, Also, sending me Andrew Tate videos for like places we should talk about. Maybe he's not Mendoza line for travel. Andrew Tate. But the positives, because I don't like to dwell on negatives, nor do you. Uh, as you know, we made fun of Jackson for just doing shout outs in episode 1 for 17 straight minutes, just shouting out. It turns out the first shout out he did in 7 seconds into our first podcast gave us a re-shout out back. And they're like, who knows, maybe they're going to sponsor the show. We're pitching them sponsorships. Shout out Toddy's Vodka. So yeah, now Jackson thinks we're fucking famous. He's going to be shouting out like Birkenstocks, Bass Pro, Pert Plus. I don't know, but so we apologize for making fun of the shout outs because apparently the shout outs work.
Fenolio boots. If I can get some Fenolio boots. Big fan. I travel a lot in them. Go to a lot of restaurants. Look at the craftsmanship. Fenolio.
Did you not take them off because you want to return them, or why is there a tag on?
I like to collect boots. Some people collect Jordans. I collect boots. That's how I
And
do
so
it.
it's like a thing to keep tags on.
Well, I can. I can
Yeah,
take it off right now. It's way past. I can't return these.
yeah. I guess people like it was a fashion to put on like those on the hats. You keep like the New Era sticker on, so it's same.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Liz. Well, let's get into it. You've been to
Thousands. They were crazy.
yeah, you've been to Costa Rica. You loved it.
Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Specific things about Costa Rica, though. We'll get
Mhm.
into it. But I'm a big fan. Big fan. Always looking at a chance to hop a flight and travel the short ways it takes to get there.
Yeah, and the thing about Costa Rica, it's to paraphrase, it's the birthplace of ecotourism. So that's just incredible. I know when I was there again recently, they just talked about how they put in millions of dollars into like re doing the forest. What's the word I'm looking for? Reforestation. So,
Oh,
but yeah, before they like cut down tons of trees and all that kind of stuff. But years and years ago, the government was like, no, screw that. We need to like put all the, you know, everything back in to how it was. And that's why it's such like an eco-tourist place. That's why there's so many animals compared to all the other countries.
oh, they were responsible for all the zip lines. I did a lot of zip lining while I was down there. Lots.
Yeah. Adventure tourism, huge for adventure tourism. I would say it's the best place to go in like the Americas that's easy to get to from the US, Canada sort of thing. Because it's got everything you want. It reminds me a lot of Asia, but easier to get to than Asia.
And it's funner to say Costa Rica. Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Costa Rica. It's
It's
fantastic.
like Mufasa.
Yeah, but even more fun to say. Costa Rica.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing to do in Costa Rica?
I love it. It looks great. Fish, to be honest. Fishing because it goes in hand with my other favorite thing to do, which is eat and cook. But I would say when I went, I stayed at the town Los Sueños, and it's on the Pacific side. And from there, we went fishing almost every day. We just couldn't stop hitting fish. Couldn't stop ripping lips. And I got caught quite into a lot of sailfish while I was there. They were running. We had 8 in one day. I will remember that
Wow.
day brought a tear to my eye. I was with my father and my younger sister, and we just slayed them. We slayed them. But there was also quite a bit of other fish. We put back all the sales, of course, but some mahi and stuff like that we kept, and we filleted and cooked. And you can do so much with the fish, the type of fish that are down in Costa Rica. I mean, there's countless numbers of fish that are. It's not bad to. What am I trying to say? It's not bad for the environment taken out. They procreate quite frequently. It's not a
Yeah.
invasive or it's not a bad fish to eat. They don't have bad fish to eat. It's great.
Yeah. And you can do fishing from everywhere too. I know I loved Manuel Antonio. I think the best places to go in Costa Rica are Manuel Antonio is a must visit, and La Fortuna. So if you only have 10 days, 7, 10 days, you have to go to those two places. They're like the number one spots. Did you go fishing in Yaco or where were you?
I would Los Sueños. Just there's a huge marina out of there that they ship all the charters out of. It's
Where's Los Sueños
I
though?
get
Like
north
that
south.
area?
Yeah, let me show you on a map.
You don't have
Look
to show it.
at that. Big,
Um,
I'm a big map guy.
so if you're going to Costa Rica, you should go unless you just have a short trip. Like if you only do 4 days, that's a tough one because you have to fly into San Jose and then it's hours to get to either Manuel Antonio, Yaco, which I say go to Manuel Antonio a million times over, or La Fortuna, the Reno volcano place. So try and go for 10 days so you can see all it has to offer. Manuel Antonio is incredible. It has a national park, it has waterfalls. The national park is like the densest. Let me see what it's the most dense area for animals in a giant, I don't want to say the world or North America, but something like that.
Mm, wow. How do you
Yeah.
get who? How do you get into that? How do you
So
jump into it? You can't just
it
dip a toe into that type of
it was
expedition.
it's kind of cool because it's almost like Central Park. I have no idea the size differences. I think but
Oh,
it's you can just go and there's guides there. I used Paddle 9, was a great guide. And yeah. Yeah, so Manuel Antonio is one of the most biodiverse areas in the Americas for you to see animals in the wild. So it's unreal. Like I saw monkeys, sloths, bats, a pit or not a pit viper, a fer de lance, which is the most dangerous venomous snake in Costa Rica and in the one of the Americas. It's incredible. Saw that. Lizards.
but right, that you intentionally went to see that pit viper. It wasn't like just in your hotel room or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I had a guide. The paddle line guide was like able to spot it, which was pretty cool. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow, just a
it was
lot.
almost like a book, like a children's book that you read with like exotic animals, but you just like went to see it in the wild. And then sloths, like I was at my hotel. I forget, I need to give it a shout out, but there was this sloth hanging out outside my room. Monkeys on my patio. A monkey actually caught a lizard, bit its head off, and then still played with it. It was on my patio. I was
They,
enthralled
I
and scared.
they're omnivores. The monkeys are omnivores. They did scare me. I went zip lining. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I did a lot of zip lining in Costa Rica as
Yeah.
well. To and fro, tree to tree, um, going 60. I mean, you're flying down these lines, and what you do is one hand is made for the stop it. So when you're ready to stop, you got to really grip on and just kind of slide your way into a man who's there to catch you. And so
Yeah.
they're very safe. They're very safe. You operate almost on the buddy system, because
Hmm.
there's zip lining people. I mean, you look in front of you. If that one guy in front of you is stopped, I mean, you're just gonna clap for him. So just it's good to yell out for your buddy in case you're coming in a little too hot.
Yeah. What would you
Um,
say to the buddy? Is there like a word or a term you liked?
Look out. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of that one. Look
Yeah,
out.
that's a good one.
Four, just because
Mm.
you already know when you hear four, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you've never played a day of golf in your life, look out. Look out.
Yeah.
Keep
Heads
going.
up. Head on a
Uh,
swivel. Like you're playing defense in basketball. My old coach would say, head on a swivel.
yes.
And you do the guns. and so the guns you'd point to the ball and the player you're marking.
So Los Sueños, by the way, the place that I visited, located on the west side of Costa Rica, Pacific side, kind of towards
I think
the
we call that the yeah, go ahead.
yeah, kind of towards the middle. I would say mountainous region,
Hmm.
right off the ocean.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but you do go through it's quite a fun drive. I will say that. I would, if you're queasy or you get sick on the roads, I'd bring a bag. Bring a
Yeah.
bag with you.
You need to go to Manuel Antonio next time. I'll give you some quick things to do. On the way there, there's a bridge, the Crocodile Bridge. I forget the actual name for it, but there's just crocodiles just hanging out under the bridge. There's toucans, flying around.
You did the crocodile tour too? I did the crocodile tour.
Yeah,
They're massive, 20
they are.
footers.
Mm-hmm.
20 footers with attitude, and you have a man. Like, this is my favorite part is, you anytime you get on one of those boats, ask them about the turnover rate, because usually it's not much of a turnover, but a bunch of people are just dying left and right on these boats because they stick a guy usually with some raw chicken right in the water and just get them to start tapping it on the surface. Those things get right up on you, and the best part is they recommend you touch them. You can touch a 20-foot alligator. I don't know if you're into that, Fraser, but it freaked
Yeah.
me out. I stayed away. But my mother, she got all up handsy with the alligator.
Your mom touched. Is it a crocodile or an alligator? We don't want to confuse people.
Crocodile. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
Crocodile.
don't want to sound like idiots.
Yeah,
We're-
crocodile.
yeah.
The alligators are in Florida, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. So in Manuel Antonio, yeah, you on the way there, yeah, there's a little pit stop. You can get like a little cocktail or refreshment, coconut chopped up. You can see parrots or toucans, wherever they're called. Macaws, that's the word I'm looking for.
Love a
We're
parrot.
screwing everything up. Yeah, macaws. And the Crocodile Bridge. And then hiking Niawaka Falls. There's like some gorgeous falls. Paddle 9 will take you. Niawaka Falls, some of the prettiest falls I've ever seen in my life. You can hike up to those. Eco Chontalis, I think you pronounce it. Waterfalls, lesser known, incredible. And then they have like a little kitchen at the bottom where, abuela makes you up a nice little stewed rice chicken concoction. It's incredible. So that's why I loved Manuel Antonio Park I told you about. It's
Mhm.
like you're in National Geographic. It's incredible. Incredible food as well. On the website, inspiretraveleat.com, I've got 15 best places to eat in Manuel Antonio. Oh, we talked about the last podcast, a place called a Soda. So Soda is where you've got grandma, abuela, just whipping up food, and it's like $3 for a plate, fresh fruit, incredible. So I've got all those. Soda Feria is a big one, and Soda, what's her name? Marguerite, I want to say. But anyways, there's some good ones. And the river, the Crocodile River is called Rio Tarcoles.
Rio.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that the one that has all the healing mud in it? It's got
It's
some.
not it's not that sounds nice.
Yeah, apparently all these waterfalls Costa Rica have healing properties. Uh,
Yeah,
quite a
I think you just saw my Instagram post a few days ago and you're
no,
just
I,
talking
I
about
did go to a couple waterfalls while I was there. By
that.
four wheeler, I didn't do the hiking. I'm not into that. Well,
Mhm.
it's vacation. I don't like to move, so I
Yeah.
like to four wheeler, zip and zap,
Uh-huh.
and I get right up to those waterfalls, courtside. And I was told to just start rubbing myself with mud.
Huh.
So, and the next day, I I felt fantastic. Felt fantastic. My no acid reflux. You
Yeah.
know, I thought my Crohn's for a little bit had been healed, but it wasn't.
And the
It wasn't.
Crohn's, you still got the Crohn's.
Still got the Crohn's.
Um,
Healing mud of Costa Rica does not help with Crohn's. I will go on the record to say that.
that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. But yeah, in Manuel Antonio, you can also do a little bit of surfing, some paddle boarding, some kayaking in the mangroves or out in the ocean. Incredible beach hops. I would say Manuel Antonio is arguably the best place in North and Central America because it's got the adventure in the waterfalls, or it's just got great food, drinks, and stunning beaches and water where you can just sit while I go do my hikes. You wait for me like a great husband, and you just drink your face off on the beach, do some fishing, and we just meet up in the middle at some of the nightlife, some of the good restaurants. It's a great place. La
I
Fortuna. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, no, that sounds fantastic, Fraser. You're very thoughtful. You with
Yeah.
all itineraries. I highly recommend taking a trip with Fraser Laveay. Shout out Fraser Laveay
Shout
for
out.
great trip planning. Sure, that
Yeah. La Fortuna is a volcano. Are you familiar with it?
I did not go to the volcanoes. I hear they're deadly. I've heard they kill people, so I don't tend to go towards those.
I, I think
But
that was just the Netflix show you recently watched on the volcano in Hawaii.
what I watch a lot about volcanoes, and they are unpredictable. I've learned that.
You're not wrong. They
Studies
are.
through my studies, and my teacher in third grade who put baking soda, and I didn't know what to expect, and she truly was right. It was magical.
Yeah.
But
The
it
baking
was,
soda vinegar.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what they have in Costa Rica to make them so angry, these
Yeah.
volcanoes so angry, but I hear they do have some active ones.
Yeah, but they that is predictable, I would say, the baking soda vinegar because you're physically doing it, but semantics. La Fortuna still, you can hike it. They have the Rio Celeste, which is similar to like Havasupai Falls in Arizona, one of the most gorgeous waterfalls I've ever seen. Costa Rica is just a waterfall heaven. Um, I loved it there. You can zip line. It's called canyoning. Have you ever canyoned? It's like zip lining, but you just go directly down waterfalls and cliff faces. It's
Is
like
that
a
not?
mixture of repelling. It's terrifying. I did. It's the second or third or fourth most terrifying thing I've ever done.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, it's
What I would if that was on the options I take, I would really have to. The other ones would have to really be bad for me to
yeah,
take on that one.
it's
Yeah. I would need to be on a 2 week trip and just run out of things to do for me to take up
yeah.
waterfall diving.
Well, you like rappel down it,
What?
canyoning.
What?
Yeah, it's called. Google it.
So there's a rope and you're just getting doused by water.
Yeah, and it's like slippery and like at least when you zip line, you kind of go like just down a little bit like that.
Yeah.
This one is like you're rappelling like an actual mountain climber, and
Oh,
you just like go down, but you don't touch the wall. You have to like just kind of let go off the platform,
and just get waterboarded.
and God has you. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes you just need to be a Catholic and just let God take the wheel. You know,
I'm or
terrifying.
Baptist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
You can. Have you whitewater rafted? There's some of the best whitewater rafting in the world in Costa Rica, like the La Fortuna area, and Manuel Antonio.
I have a friend who says that. I have a
Yeah.
friend. I haven't taken him up on the opportunity to go with him because I'm not that coordinated enough to fight the natural waters of Costa Rica, or just. I
I
hear they
think
got
you can just do it.
waters. They got some stage threes there.
Yeah.
Costa Rica ain't no joke.
But they'll take you down like easier ones if need be. I think you'll be fine.
I'd go down with like a group of people. That way, if anything ever happened to me,
Other people too.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, there'd be a group effort to find everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying it because he's wanted like everyone to die versus just you to die. Because I thought that was selfless.
Felt like buddy system, big into the
Mm.
buddy system, but
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
that's how you were thinking. I'm glad
zip
I.
lining and whitewater rafting buddy system. In La Fortuna, they also have their Arena Observatory Lodge and Waterfall, which was one of the better places I've ever seen. There's public hot springs. There's free public hot springs just in the wild.
Wow.
In La Fortuna, there's also ones you can pay to go into, like resorts, but there's free secret ones I've got on the website. So, like in La Fortuna, you can hike volcanoes, go to hot springs,
Free hot water.
whitewater raft, yeah, and hike waterfalls. It's unreal. It's one of the best places on earth. If you
Mhm.
love adventure and outdoors, this is the place you have to go. The only thing I don't like about Costa Rica is because it does have so much cool shit, is it's probably the most expensive like Latin American country. It is the most expensive I've ever been to because it's just everything costs. Like in La Fortuna, it costs to go on to the Renal
Get
Observatory. It
all
costs.
in. They got to bring everything in. That's
Yeah.
what.
So,
What was Cerveza down there? It was Ducati, and then what else? Ducati's the Hispanic one, but what there was
um,
something, there's some
yeah.
amazing beer down there that I
Oh
was
my gosh. It's
Costa Rica.
yeah, what is it called? Um I can't think of it, but it is. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, there's also the La Fortuna waterfall, which is another one right in town, and the El Salto rope swing. I know you like this one. Is this a big swimming hole right off the highway, right off the road? And there's a rope swing, giant swimming hole. It's pretty much free, and you just hang out there and bring your own beers. There's the mystical hanging bridges, like just hanging bridges in this giant park that you dangle over me like 100-meter drops, which is beautiful sights. Multiple suspension bridges, 16 total bridges in all.
There's
So
also, I don't know if there's great golfing also out there. A lot of great golf resorts all around
yeah,
uh, the area. Yeah, I just there's not enough places to swing a club. I mean, there's too many places to swing a club around there. Too many.
yeah,
Yeah. Can't hit them
yeah.
all.
That's fair. They also have, if you're into animals, there's sea turtle nesting.
Hmm.
So that's all over. I went to Tamarindo as well the first time I went. Incredible surfing, some of the best surfing in that area. Maybe not just in Tamarindo, but there's a lot of bays and areas just outside of Tamarindo. It's kind of a bit dirty though. It reminds me of, I don't know, if Costa Rica is like Zion National Park, or sorry, Manuel Antonio and La Fortuna Zion National Park, it would be like Albuquerque. No, Albuquerque's not that dirty. It's just it's like a big party backpacking place. The beach isn't that nice. It's great for surfing, but that's why I say Manuel Antonio, La Fortuna, the first place you have to go. Next, I would do the Caribbean side, and after that, then I would go to Tamarindo up there. There's like Flamingo Beach and some other gorgeous places to visit, so that's fine. San Jose, did you spend long in San Jose? It is,
Just flew in really, but
yeah, it's the worst. I feel bad for saying this, but we have to be honest. I think it's the worst capital city for a nice country in the world. Like it's just, yeah, it's not pleasant. There are a couple cool things to do. You have to go kind of go in.
two I think.
What
Don Lewis said that as well.
did he?
Yeah, that's Carol Baskin's ex-husband. Just did.
I was wondering who Don Lewis was, and he's
Yeah.
alive now, right?
Everyone says it.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Um, but San Jose, there's a coffee plantation that has a hike, and you can drink coffee and have lunch and kind of overlook some of the city. There's a little downtown market, which is really cute. I always love markets. That's one of my favorite things to do whenever I travel is visit markets.
Well,
So
what was the craziest thing you saw at the Costa Rican market?
it's always the food. Like you'll see just like full bullheads skinned, and it's just like their meat mask.
Mm,
It's a lot like Hannibal Lecter would like it there. It's just a lot of skin things.
mm,
Yeah, and everything's just kind of out in the open. Um, yeah, but the food's always great. The best
yeah.
meal I ever had. Oh, we're gonna have one. Yeah, this is a fresh meat. Everything's so much more fresh. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Some good candy down there too. Good chocolates and things like that.
yeah.
Chocolate
Also,
stuff.
yeah, they do have good sugar. Good. Yeah, coffee, sugar. You're right. They're chocolate and it's renowned.
Mm,
Also, if you like to ever want to volunteer, there's a place called Maximo Nivel, and they actually you can like register to volunteer with them, and whether you want to do like nursing or dentistry or learn English or teach English or childcare activities or whatever that is, there's a great place to volunteer in San Jose, but there's also one in Manuel Antonio,
love that
which
you how to drive because it is crazy down there. They do not know how to drive. It's unbelievable. Getting down those mountains is just you Jesus take the wheel, and
yeah,
you just yeah, it's
I kind of like it. Like I enjoy driving in Central and South America because I feel like it makes sense. Like there's no rules, but the rules are common sense. where the USA and Canada don't have common sense, so they need like they just crash into each other or like. So down there, it's just, hey, I know I'm going this.
Insurance. That's why we require it.
Yeah,
It's not down there. I
yeah,
don't know how they handle insurance down there, but
yeah.
yeah.
I assume similar. Probably less price gouging and as capitalistic, but
I don't know. I'm not my
not your cup of tea.
not my area of expertise.
That's fine.
I haven't studied it.
Well, yeah. I mean, in
Hey, that
short,
part that talk about someone we need to get a sponsorship for someone who wants to sponsor travel insurance. We're looking for
yeah,
someone who wants to get in on the travel insurance trend because boy is it needed. Boy is
yeah.
it needed.
Berkshire Hathaway. Shout out Berkshire. Is there a second shout out to Berkshire Hathaway?
I was about to say, Fraser, come in hot with that. We need you to come in hot with that
Yeah.
recommendation.
Excuse me, Mr. Buffett. Can we please get just? Did you ever watch his documentary? So he's so cost conscious. His wife will put a dollar amount in his cup in his car, and in the car he drives is like a Ford Tempo or some like tiny shitty car, and his wife will put like 320 in his little cup holder, or she'll put like 375, and one is a sausage McMuffin or egg McMuffin with a coffee, and the other one's a sausage muffin with a hash brown with a coffee. And she does it depending on how good the market is, because if the market's not good, he doesn't deserve and he doesn't want to have that extra hash brown as part of his day.
What a bitch.
Him or her? Well, he has to do it. Like he wants her to do that. He's like, hey, this is
Oh,
how.
like into the dominatrix type thing. So he likes getting punished.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow,
Well, he's just
that
cost
makes
conscious.
sense. All those stock market guys are sick.
Yeah. Is he the
Well,
one that?
hey, but Warren, that doesn't mean we love the freaks on this podcast. Love the freaks,
So if you,
bring on that travel insurance.
yeah,
Don't,
so if you'd like to travel and if you'd like to sponsor our show, Warren,
and I don't think your wife's a bitch. Just for the record, dude, I'd take that back. I'm sure Fraser is describing a scenario with a different woman who takes
his,
away sausage and egg biscuits at will.
his first wife
His first,
probably
yeah,
took.
first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he asked for it. He's a masochist or a sadist. So he's one of the kists that's to himself. But he does that just because he's so budget conscious. He just wants to reward himself for a good day and for a bad day. And the fact he still eats McDonald's and is still alive is kind of cool. Disgusting, but cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
those
mean,
aren't
like,
healthy.
I mean, the amount of I always thought about this. The amount of preservatives in McDonald's products. Doesn't that the savings pass on to us? Doesn't it? We get some little some of that immortal bread once that gets absorbed by us. I
I
feel
see
like
where you're going.
some of our cells should benefit from that. Like it's like eating formaldehyde. Like basically just preserves us. I feel like
Yeah, that makes sense.
I,
In a weird way, that absolutely makes sense.
I don't
Like,
know.
yeah.
Haven't you seen those McDonald's burgers that get stuck in a closet for years and they just
Hmm.
come out fresh as can be? It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So that should be us.
Yeah.
McDonald's has discovered what's it where you freeze someone and they come out years later? They've figured that out with their food.
I've always wondered they didn't. I always thought McDonald's might not love the troops because why aren't they making MREs? I mean, it seems like everything on their menu just can last on a shelf forever. So I don't
Yeah.
know why they have been producing MREs for the troops.
Yeah.
But
What are MREs? Educate the world and myself.
well, maybe no MREs, emergency meals. Those emergency meals.
Oh, okay.
You just pop them.
EMSs.
EMSs, yeah, emergency meal substitutes. I
EMS.
don't know. Let's see. Let's see
Yeah.
the
Well, I'm glad we covered that about Costa Rica.
find
Um,
this out right
will you look at that and we'll wind the show up?
Meals ready to eat. Meals ready to eat.
Oh, sweet.
MREs. MREs. That
Great.
was
Yeah, you nailed it. So yeah,
nailed.
McDonald's should have MREs. You're right.
They should. I mean, if they love the troops.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 They don't love turtles because they still have straws. Meanwhile, the rest of the U.S. has cut them out. because that's
I
what
would,
needs to be
I would
changed.
say that's false. That's false as well. I went to a Whataburger the other day. It seemed like that was plastic as well. Went
Mhm.
to a Applebee's the other. The chain restaurants just take on those penalties. They just
Yeah.
eat them because
Hmm.
I mean, personally, as a consumer, those plastic straws ruined my meal. I mean, the paper straws
Paper.
ruined every meal I've ever had. I
Hmm.
they just take. It's all I can think about during the meal. It's like, why am I even trying to drink with this toilet paper roll in my
Hmm.
in my nice
Hmm.
cocktail? I don't
Hmm.
like
I'm with you. I feel it. I totally get that.
drinking from a toilet paper roll. I don't like it.
No, I completely understand. Well, let's wrap this one up. Next one, we're doing best meals ever, and I think we had something else we wanted to talk about, but we'll figure that out when we knock the next one out.
Go ahead and until next time, go visit Costa Rica. Pura vida.
Inspire traveleat.com, the best podcast in the universe,
Oh,
probably.
cocktail. What's their official cocktail? It's
Ooh, we should have covered this. I'm sure everyone turned it off by a carajillo, which I'm just writing a recipe on. A
yeah, no,
carajillo is a um, espresso martini, but their version of it with like you can use either rum or brandy or liquor 43, and it
spelled
is
Carajillo.
yep
Korea.
carajillo
It is a hot coffee drink, ooh,
or
to which
cold.
a hard liqueur is added. It is typical of several Latin American countries, such as Costa Rica
Mm-hmm.
and Spain.
And
Yeah.
Spain is originated in Spain, and some say Cuba.
Yeah, but mezcal and coffee liqueur, such as Kahlua or Tia Maria, as
Yeah,
our. But if you're legitimate, as Fraser said, you want to use the Tia Maria
yeah.
for Costa
That's
Rica.
it.
But it just.
This is the show. We'll see everyone later, and go make yourself a carajillo. And we're gonna have the recipe on the site in the next 2 days.
But,